What's up, what's up? Daniel DiPiazza back here answering questions on the gram. And so make sure you're following me at Daniel DiPiazza on Instagram, and then make sure you're subscribed here so that you know when I put out the answers here on YouTube. So there you go. I just did 2 calls to action in the first 10 seconds. Let's go right through these questions. I got another one from Nick right now. Nick says, how do you find the right balance between underpaying and overpaying your employees? That's a great question. And to be honest with you, I think there are a couple things to consider when even thinking about hiring. One, is it the right time for you to hire? I know that I have certainly overhired before or hired too fast. And then when I find out that I overhired, then I have to do the process of walking it back, which is either like letting the person go or scaling down the responsibility to try and scale down the pay, and that never goes well. So definitely consider the fact that you might not need to hire when you think you do. A lot of times we're not really in pain. We just hire because something is annoying us. So for instance, we'll hire way before the system that is being created is stretched to its capacity. So for instance, you might hire someone to do customer service for you very early in building a company when really you should be doing the customer service because you're not getting enough volume. Or the customer service complaints that are coming in are because a system is broken, and if you fix that system, it will eliminate the customer service issues. And that would then eliminate the need for the person that you would hire. So these are things to consider. Should you hire? Now, if you come to the conclusion that yes, you should hire, then there are a couple things to consider there. One, what's industry standard? If you're an established company, then you're going to be looking at industry standards and wanting to match or exceed those standards. If you look at a book like Netflix, I think Reed Hastings is his name, wrote a book called No Rules Rules, and they talk about their philosophy of overpaying, essentially overpaying for talent, and they do that to secure the talent. And one thing I've learned is that, building a business, the main thing is the people. The people are the brains that produce the products are the things that sell to other people, and on the other side of that transaction are more people. So it's really just people exchanging thought forms and ideas and products with each other. And of course it comes back in the form of money, it's a whole cycle, but really people are the most important thing. And so it's when you can overpay for somebody and you're not hurting your bottom line, then that's the ideal scenario. Now, not everyone's in Netflix scenario, but just know that talent is the thing. Talent is why sports teams exist, and they trade players. Talent is the reason why people go to see the best, or people go to see the most popular actors, not even the best actors, but the most popular actors in those movies that they're in usually do well because talent attracts money and attention. So, and not just about attracting money and attention, but more about talent can do the best work. When we're talking about Hollywood, maybe that's more about external factors, but especially when you're talking about a business, you want the best coders, for instance. There are statistics that show that coders and developers in the top 1% can be 10 times or 20 times as fast as another developer who's still in the top 5% or 10%. They can be multiple times faster by being at the top of their field. So it's worth it to create it's worth it to pay more. Now, of course, if you're talking about just in the very beginning, which I know is probably what you're talking about, Nick, the answer is you want to look at what you realistically can afford and make sure that the people who are working with you are aligned with the mission. A lot of times we overpay because we feel like people won't want to work with us if we're not giving them competitive salary, and that's certainly true, especially in today's economy. There is a lot of room to make that argument. But what I will tell you is that people will often work for a lot less than you think they'll work for if what you're doing aligns with what is important to them and if it makes sense with their life. Everyone has their own agenda, their own angle for why they're doing what they're doing. And for some people, it's just money and they will go to the highest bidder. But for others, there's some sort of vision they have for what it is they're trying to accomplish. And if your company and your vision can match up with their vision and help them accomplish what their goals are faster, they're going to be more likely to want to work with you, and regardless of what the pay is. Now, of course, you have to find that balance then of paying them something that is commensurate with what they think they're getting in return for it, but you can find those people who will work for what you might think will be less money, but will be happy to do the work because they want to be involved in whatever it is that you're doing, which also is going to fall on you then to create a more compelling vision, because when you are hiring, they're selling you on them, but you're also selling yourself and your company on to them. You know, you're trying to show the right people the right opportunity, and you're trying to find those people, because again, talent really is everything. So what I would say is, if you want to look for straight numbers and you're hiring people just in the digital space to help you with your business, go look at Upwork and see what their rates are and adjust your rates above or below what the competitive rates are on that platform, so that you can at least know where you stand, and then you'll have some level of some basis. You know, look to do your research first and base your numbers on that. You can always go below what market rate is. You can also offer some pieces of your company in exchange for that. So that's why a lot of startups offer equity to first employees, so that's always an option. But there are other ways to motivate people besides just money. Even in the beginning, titles sometimes are very motivating to people. They want to feel like they're important within the structure of the company. So just remember this. And then of course, as you can pay more competitively, I think it's a great idea, because everyone wants to get paid. And at the end of the day, you know, if you can afford it, it helps to be able to retain as much top talent as you can. So that's my long-winded, short answer for how to think about hiring. And you know, if you want to become more organized with your business, I highly recommend you check out the resources in the Alpha Mentorship store, just because, you know, when you're working through some of the more challenging areas of building, you have to have frameworks for it. So from marketing to sales to hiring to just how to run the day-to-day business, becoming more productive, I put together a bunch of tools for you at alphamentorship.store, and you can check it out there. And yeah, leave me a comment below with other questions that you have. You know, you can always ask me questions at Dylan D. Piazza on Instagram, and I'll answer them there when I can, and I'll come back to YouTube and answer the longer ones that I feel are really awesome as well. So enjoy this one. Like and subscribe to this video if you haven't already. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.